Five, four, three, two, one, and we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream here. And today we're going to look at Schumann childhood scenes, number 7, number 8, possibly number 4 and 5. If we have time, if some batteries don't conk out, we're going to look at Chopin Revolutionary Etude, Opus 10, number 12, but we might just save that for another time. I'd like to start out talking about the equipment upgrade. That's kind of the obvious thing here. I have a voice mic here so you can all hear me better. There's a few things here to show you, okay? So, all right, I'm going to show you all the equipment, and then there's going to be just a thank you for all the patrons as well as a special mention in this. So we have now an A10 Mini, so I can show you here. I have an overhead cam. How great is that? And in addition to that, an iPad with a pen. Okay, this is an iPad Pro with a pen, and I can write things for you guys here. So this is going to be a game changer. Okay. And that's what it looks like for now, plus the 2 mics. So a huge thank you to all the patrons. Special mention to Tim Oligmuller, who donated this A10 Mini. I don't know if you can see it in this camera. It's over here anyway. So that's a video switcher. And Tim has also donated this iPad Pro for all of you and me, of course. But this is something that's going to really benefit everybody. So a huge thank you to Tim and to all the other patrons, because all this equipment was purchased with your money. The camera up here, we got an Akaso Bray. This is Akaso, a V50 Akaso. It has a slight image stabilization, which is just perfect to take care of, you know, when the piano shakes a little bit, it actually keeps it in place. And this microphone as well, which is, you know, it's a little clunky and sporty, but it's making a huge, huge difference. I can finally talk and play at the same time, and I think you should be able to hear even better than I can hear myself at this point. So that is awesome. So there we have it. That's new equipment, and big shout out to all the patrons. If you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon page. This is what we're doing. The next things in line to upgrade are going to be basically to make a logo for the YouTube channel and an intro video. I'm super excited about that. Taking a bit of time with it, because I might change the name of the YouTube channel. So if anyone has some crazy recommendations for the name, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear your recommendations. That for me is kind of difficult, finding the name, you know. But I think this channel has been more or less a kind of down-to-earth kind of thing. You know, I'm not reading off a teleprompter, although I'm not against doing that. You know, it would just be different. But I think the general comments that I get from all of you watching is that you like this channel because of the style is accessible and just normal, down-to-earth, and that's what I've wanted to create. So if we can find a name that kind of hints or suggests at that, that could be really cool. Down-to-earth piano. I'm not sure about that one, but maybe. So there we have it. That's it. So the logo, you know, eventually if we could get a really good video camera, that would be cool, but it's not such a priority. Definitely upgrading this mic to one of the slicker, slim Shure models like the MX153 or something like that. That might be on the list of future upgrades. But for now, I think we're doing pretty good with all this. So, okay, that ends this segment. And now I would like to, apart from saying hi to everyone in the chat, Vladimir, un piano en Provence. Nice novelties. Yeah, thanks. It's awesome. I would like to also, yes, great news. We're going to start having live get-togethers on Zoom, okay? They're masterclasses. I'm calling them get-togethers just so people don't freak out. You don't have to play something, although it would be good. We need, you know, let's start out just having a get-together. We can yap for half an hour and whatever. If you guys have some questions, we can talk about them. However, eventually or right away, what would be great is if we could have in each of these get-togethers, you know, at least 2 people who want to play something. So I know it's a little nerve-wracking, and nobody wants to play except for a few brave people. A few people have written me already. I have received your messages. Thank you very much. I'm impressed that some of you are, you know, willing to put yourself there and play. We're not broadcasting these Zoom things at all. So if you want to receive an invitation to them, there's going to be a link in the description. It's not there right now. Maybe I can put it while talking to you. But there is going to be a link in the description here which says basically Masterclasses. And all you have to do is fill out that form. And it says, are you willing to play something for a class or not? Yes or no. You don't have to, like I said. I think what's important at this point is that we just get together on Zoom. It'll be like getting together in real life. Just the same, not quite. Okay, but this is the best way that we can do things. So that's it. I will put that link in the description. You should see it there in a moment. And if you're watching this on your own time, then there it is in the description. Just fill out the contact form. I need your email address so I can send you the invite link when we do this. Okay, that is the end of this thing, but I am gonna just paste the link right there so it's already in the description. Voila. Okay, and that brings us to Schumann childhood scenes here. So we're going to start looking at this. I do not have so much battery on this camera, so I'm just going to double check, see where it's at here. Make sure. Okay, all right, it's not bad. It's plugged in, but it's still using some juice. So we're going to be good. Okay, and what do we start with? Number 4? Yeah, we can do number 4. This one should be pretty simple. I don't think there's too much to talk about in this one, but let's see. So what Schumann is doing in this one here is basically repeating the same phrase every 2 bars. It's just repeating the same thing again and again. So we have... And of course, entreating child. These are kind of strange translations for this. It's not exactly, whoop, here we go, here's how the pen works. See? Okay, it's more like pleading child, I would say. Pleading child, yeah. I'm gonna learn to write nicer with this pen. Yeah, entreating, it's a little bit confusing. L'enfant qui prie, again, it's not a prayer. Prie is to beg, or begging child, that would also be good. Begging child, okay? Pleading or begging child. That's a good translation here. And is that, I don't know why the top of my, I know why it's cut off. Okay, it's gonna be like that today, that's okay. All right, so begging child, maybe that's a better title for this. So it's kind of like he's saying, please, please, please. There's a diminished 7th right there. Here's our diminished 7th. And I think you can do more on the diminished 7th and then resolve it. Ta-dee. So not but rather more on this chord and resolve it. And then it repeats, okay? If you're looking for good recordings of these pieces, I think Arthur Schnabel is probably one of the best. You have that on YouTube. And you know, it's surprising, but he's very straight, maybe a little old-fashioned, but there's not too much tempo changes in all this, or too much rubato, let's say. However, it is important to take time in the right places, especially every 4 bars, okay? So in this case, sorry, this one here, Tia-da-dee. See how we did take a little bit of time there? You just wait a little bit before starting that section. So that's very good. Let's see, yeah, maybe this is better. Okay, so it would sound something like this. fraction of a second there before we go into bar 4. And then we have this again, 2 times. A little softer, this one. And here's where we're going to take time. So you see a way of doing this, if you're going to wait here and take a little time before starting this one, you could back this off a little bit, those last few notes in the right and left hand. They're shared here. It looks like this. The thumb takes the A. But if you take a little bit of time there, then 2, 3, 4, you see how that makes a natural sort of start to that new phrase, instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, which is okay, but it would be better 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then he writes that ritardando, yeah? I would suggest small ritardando the first time, almost nothing. And then the second one, more ritardando, right? More rit on that second one. So something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want, you could listen T da T da 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 T da da da. You could slightly bring out that line one of the 2 times, but you don't want it to like take up too much space. Would be a little bit too much, you know? Just color it a little bit. That's the first one. Now colored by the middle voice. Back to tempo here. And last one we're gonna slow down. Sorry. And that's about it for this one. The other question is, I like to take this D right here with the left hand. Looks like this. That just makes more sense to me. And then I put a 1, 2 here, not like this. So that's how I prefer doing it. Another thing here is when you have ta-dee, you want to sing that interval. How can you sing this be-dum like a singer would, or a flute player, or whatever? Let's say a wind player. I would recommend play this in the front with your arm like this. Just drawing arrows here, as you can see that we just did this. So play this in the front. So you arrive in the front. Sorry for the audio delay. And this, then this. This one more in the front because you want to sing it, right? And you want that note to come out. You don't want, right? You don't want this note to be softer unless you're doing it intentionally to make it more expressive, which you could do. Maybe not in the very first time you have it in the piece, though. And then this is a rotation. You see that movement here? So you could do that the second time. This will vary it since you're repeating everything twice, and this thing here you're repeating 4 times. So you could make that second note and you could make it softer if you're intentionally doing that to make it more expressive. Okay. I hope that makes sense. So here we have the pleading child. Pleading child. I think it's a better title. And actually in the Henley edition, if we look here, it's probably something other than entreating. I think it's pleading, isn't it? It is, yeah, pleading child. Okay, so that's also the Henley one. Pleading child. That's it, okay? So it has that kind of like, please, 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 sort of quality. They're complaining. Both a slightly louder one that's kind of sobbing, complaining, and the other one, the pianissimo, could be kind of like more of a quiet complaining, like a resentment or something. Almost like you're complaining to yourself. You know, when a child is complaining, sometimes they're complaining so someone hears them, and then, you know, they don't get what they want, and they keep on kind of muttering and complaining to themselves. It's a little bit like that. Okay, here we go. That's it for the pleading child. Let's move on and do, shall we do number 5? This one is a little harder. I really want to get to number 7, and we already did number 6. Okay, let's just do this. So here's number 5. Perfect happiness. Yeah, that's a good translation there. So we keep having this that sort of motif here, and it's being repeated in the left hand, which you can see here. This first note, as you can see, is both an 8th note and a 16th note, right? It has those double bars there. So why? Why is it both, and what does that mean? It means that it is both the melody, so we're going here, tia-da-da-dee-da-da-da. This is the real line. If we erase this, we'll do it just the way Schumann wrote it, tia-da-da-dee-da-da-da. But our melody is, it's not, that G natural is just part of the accompaniment. Okay, that goes, and all the other 8th notes are also both. You see, we have the stem going in both directions there. There's both a stem going up like this and a stem going down like that. So that's the same thing. It's both a melodic and accompaniment note. Okay, this is maybe the least interesting thing about this piece. However, that first note is very important because I think a lot of people play this. And it's not, it's, so you got to keep this really quiet so it doesn't, you know, overpower the melody. Here is sol, la, do, fa, mi, re, la. Sorry. Da, 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 dee. I like bringing out this note kind of like that. Da, da, dee. All right, and then listen to, once you're able to get through this, listen to the imitation in both voices. You have the right hand here and the left hand. Now the left hand starts the imitation. Okay, so you see that? We have right here. That's the first imitation. And then let's label it number 1. Okay, and then this one here in the right hand, that would be number 2. And then so here's the third one. So first in the left hand, and then 2 and 3 in the right hand. So here it sounds. That's number 1, number 2, number 3. So what's important in your shape, we've been just drawing these, you know, lines like this over this, but what's important is how you shape it. I think in this case, and Schumann seems to indicate that very clearly. The top note is the most important, right? And then you let that die off. So da 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 dee da da da, and back down. Same thing in the left hand. This will bring out the imitation, so it actually sounds like an imitation, right? Because if everything is kind of monotonous and the same volume, it's harder to we don't have a feature or a shape to that line that's recognizable, which we will recognize when it's the same in the left hand when you do this imitation here. Ta-da-da-dee, you're going up to this B here and then relaxing it there. Okay, that's for the left hand there. Let's not confuse the two, but actually we have the same thing going on down here. Ta-da-da-dee, ta-da-da-dee-da-da. Come back down here, and then ta-dee-da-dum. I suppose, especially to that E, ta-dee-da-da-dee. I'm sorry, dee-da-dum. There we go. So, and not, right? Because then we don't have the shape. So, see how easily recognizable the imitation in the left hand becomes when it's mimicking what we're done in the right hand. Okay, and then we go into the second box. So see, with this, we labeled them 1, 2, 3, okay? And that's because they're also increasing in intensity. So you have, and we're taking a little time doing a little rubato on the third one just to make it a bit more expressive, because we've had this 3 times in a row. Okay, the harmony here is really interesting. We have the first time, the second time, almost the same, but directly here, you have C sharp here, right? These are C sharps here. And we're modulating to F major, hence the B flats and C naturals. So that's a little more intense, I think, as we get into the second part. So in a way, it's like a continuation of the intensity we had before. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and die down. I'm sorry. It's not really like a number 4 that we have here, and 5. It's just starting something new. But this can be a little more intense than whatever we had before. I would give a healthy forte there. Especially, whoops, there goes the pen, especially here. So you're getting a little less. And then accent the C natural in the left hand. And keep going in the right hand. This up. And then the other one follows this so nicely, number 6. Yes, what did we do at the end here? Okay, we can split that in 2. So let's put that together, okay? Ta-da-da-dee-da-dum, ta-dee-da-dum, ta-dee-da-da-da-da. 3 parts to that phrase. That's part 1. And then ta-dee-da-dum, that's part 2. And ta-dee-da-yum-pum-pum, that's part 3. They all go together, but there's a little high point to each of these segments of the phrase. So we have ta-dee-da-da, the A here, and then relax it. That's the tail of this part. And then you take it back with this to the E. And then you take it back to the A here. And of course you relax it at the end of all of that. Okay, lots of scribbling here. I hope at least some of that makes sense. So there we have it, perfect happiness. And let's go on. Let's go on to number 7. Yeah, also I will just mention here, if you're playing through these, here's just an idea. To me, it sounds like an attacca. He didn't write it, and you don't have to do that. Certainly not everyone did it. I think Schnabel does not do that. But an attacca on the 6, that means you start it right away, almost connecting number 6 to number 5, to me makes a lot of sense. Okay, so yeah, let me just memorize the beginning of this, right, A major, okay. So you'd have... I would connect them, okay, but that's to my taste. Okay, let's move on. Number 7, okay, the anticipated number 7. Hi, Nada Rose and Noya. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Let me know if the audio is okay. I've tested it, and I sure hope it is, because I've had my fair share of technical difficulties with this new microphone. Okay, Schumann Childhood Scenes number 7. Here we go. Dreaming, Reverie. Yeah, this is really dreaming. Okay, this is the most popular piece in not only this series, but the most popular piece, one of Schumann's most popular pieces of everything he wrote, if not the most popular. So, interestingly, when Schumann wrote this, Childhood Scenes, it was because, he said, it was because Clara, his wife and dearest lover, she told him that sometimes he looked like a child. So he wrote 31, I think, of these little short pieces, and in the end published 13 of them. There's the 13 that we have. And he referred to them as, I think he referred to them as scribbles on a paper. You could probably find that one even on Wikipedia. So this scribble on this paper became probably his most famous composition, interestingly enough. All right, so how to phrase this? Lots of little things to look at here, okay? I'll say the most common mistake, or a few of them, in just the first 2 bars is not connecting the second F. F, F. Because of those little grace notes, usually this is what I hear. Right? And you want the melody, if you were just to play it alone, to do that, not stop like that. Okay, so that's really important, right? We need that. Somehow you're going to have to do those grace notes in a way that this comes on time, this second F. Okay, we're talking about this second F here. It needs to be on time. That doesn't mean you can't do a little backing away when you get there. Okay, so that would be da, 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 da. That's okay, because now you've done da, da, da. That makes sense. It doesn't feel like we're stopping. Okay, so if you want to back off of that, you can, and you don't have to. Can we erase that? Very nice. Now, I prefer this fingering like this. 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1 looks like this. 1, 2, 5, 5. Get your pedal here. If you have big hands, you can hold this. If you don't, it doesn't matter. But do leave the B flat in the pedal. It kind of looks like, you know, it kind of looks like, because he wrote the F like this, you would think maybe the B flat shouldn't be in the pedal. Same thing with the C sharp here. It should, okay? He just didn't write it that way, but keep those notes in the pedal. They don't sound very good. And you see that C sharp right there? It resolves here on the D, just like the B flat resolves on the C right here, and so on for what comes next. In the beginning, do you pedal here on the first beat? Schumann's not writing pedal on that first beat. He's just saying with pedal, and with pedal happens to be written on the first beat, okay? If we look in the Henley edition here, this pedal is quite different, okay? In the Henley, we have pedal written here, okay? And then another pedal written here. Not like this, okay? And then in a few other specific places the pedal is written. So that makes sense to me. That would suggest that the first note should stay with the second in the same pedal. And then you're just repeating that. So, see, you repeat the C on the second beat of the first bar. So pedal and leave that pedal down. And then you don't even have to put that second pedal. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why Henley even put that pedal there. I would just not worry about it so much, but put this, put this in one pedal here. Leave that pedal. Okay, now when you get to the little grace notes, do we do ta-da-dee or ta-da-dee? It's up to you. Okay, that's what Schnabel does. I think he does it a little faster even. Right. Okay, let's go on. Tee-da-da-dum. No accent on this F. Show the end of this little phrase. Ya-da-da-dum. And then same thing here. Ya-da-da-dum. And now this one is longer. Ti-ya-da-da-dee-dum. Okay? I think that's a little secret in this piece that a lot of people are probably overlooking. So any way that you can bring that out, and this one goes to here. In fact, ta-dee-ya-da-da, you could go all the way to there. Ta-da-da-dee-da-dee-yum. I hear a lot of people rush this stuff here. Do not rush that. Keep it 1 and 2 and 3 and I'm sorry, I'm not counting that right. And 3 and 4 and right. So don't rush that. Again, I would just put 2, 3, 1 here. 2. That's a 1, not a 7. Same thing. If you play just the melody, it should sound exactly the same with everything. Don't stop before playing that A because you're doing these things here. Just go for not necessarily forward, like I said. You could take time, but it has to be connected. That's fine. We took time there. Okay. Now every time you have that, both in the second bar and everywhere else, leave a little time here so we feel a little suspended, and then the movement starts. So it's kind of like throwing a ball in the air, except we're on the moon here. We're not on planet Earth. Gravity is not so strong. Maybe a little stronger than on the moon, but you throw a balloon in the air, ta-dee-dee, ta-da-da-da, and then it comes back down. So how do you do that? How do you bring that? best way is stretch the long note. Okay, the A here, as well as the F in the beginning here, stretch the long note so that we feel it a little suspended. That's what we want. We want a feeling of suspension here. Suspension. Here we go. So you have T da 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 and D da 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 T da. And when you stretch that, you're going to start this E, D, C soft, right? We'll put a little piano there and a crescendo so you go to here. And then same thing here, ta-da-da-dee. And this one, ta-da-da-dee-dum. I would go all the way to the chord to show how different it is from what we had before, those two little spots. We stretch that out. We're going to go on there. Okay, I hope that explains it here. Basically, you're stretching the top note, and then you're starting softer. T-da-da-da-dee-dum. Actually, Schumann writes T-da-da-da-da. And then ta-dee-dum-da-da. Right? So again, no accent. I put a 0, means no accent on that A. Ta-dee-da. Okay, I think we're good with that. So again, if you go ya-da-da-da-dee-da-dee, that would be a very different way of interpreting this. It would sound very Russian if you do that. Ya-da-da-da-dee-da-dee. I'm exaggerating a bit. But it's also a possibility. I would go with starting that G a little softer. We go on here. Same story with the pedal. Now to give it a little push to here and relax it all the way. Dying down, very dreamlike here. You know, this is, I think, one of my most preferred ways of playing this. And I believe that is also what Schnabel does. So you give it a little push here, da-da-da-da-dum, all the way up to this. Actually, let's write this here like that. How about that? It's so much easier to write on paper. Or is it? Okay, up to there. And then how about one long dim all the way to here. So that naturally resolves here to the G minor. So we have a minor ninth there, dominant minor ninth, and less and less. And now start this one softer. So it's more special than the one that we just had 3 times, right? We had in the beginning, and then we repeated it with an 8th note instead of a quarter note. And then we had again, and this is the first time we have something different in B flat major. Yeah, so I would keep that very quiet here. 3, and I think it's possible my other camera's out, so we're just going to wrap this up like this. Got no choice. 3 and 4. Okay, keep that is really nice. Of course, take time here. That is a complicated bar. There's no question to it. If you could get the B flat, that's right here in the pedal, then we'll have this instead of, which is really nice. This time it's a grace note. Same thing as before, but if you can do something different, that's nice. And this one is different. Once again, for the 5th time now, we have that C, F. Okay, some of you might be able to do this if you have giant hands. If not, you could do that. Or you could do like this. If you can do a 9th here, you can certainly grab these 2 notes with a thumb. Or you just, you know, do this. Roll these 3 notes, rolling mean one after the next, and then get these 3 in the right hand and play this one with the left. That also works. These phrase markings are wrong here. Yeah, if we look in the Henley edition, you'll see that this is actually, I wonder if I can show that to you here. You probably can't see it. I don't know if it's a copyright problem as well. But just like before, you see this, yeah, you probably can't see it on the camera, but that is one phrase. So you have T-da-da-da-dum, as he wrote, ta-da-da-deem, and this is ta-da-da-dee-da-da-dee. Isn't that nice? Very Schumann-esque. And that's very, very difficult to bring out because you're slowing down, so whatever you do, that last phrase is likely going to sound more the way it's written on this cheap IMSLP score, okay? Nevertheless, I think there's a way of doing it. If you go same as before, don't accentuate the last notes of these phrases. It's the before last one. Same thing here. Die off here. No accent there. Go to the B flat. And now we have but we're slowing down, so if you do that, it will sound like a separate phrase. Maybe that's the best we can do. If not, what I would recommend is slow down early enough so that the last bar is all in the same tempo. Maybe the final chord a little late. Here's my best shot, okay? Here's what it would sound like. Yeah, I did slow down in the last bar, but what I did was I slowed down a lot before we started that last phrase, and then I kept at least this chunk of it here pretty much in tempo. So that is something you can fiddle around with a little bit if you can get that T-da-da-da-dum, pa-da-da-dee, ya-da-ta-dee-da-da-dee. If there's a way of us recognizing that tune while you're slowing down, that would be good. Okay, now my camera's out, so look what I'll do is I'll just take this guy down so I can actually show you this mount a little bit. Here I am. I want to show you this mount, but here's what we'll do. You're going to lose me for a second here. I'm just going to bring this wire around so I can actually do something with this and end this video / stream. Okay, we're plugged back in. Okay, here we go. Here's the crazy mount. I want to show this to you guys because I haven't seen anyone do this. I put a scissor arm on the piano, just like that. With it, this is one of those converters from microphone to video. You can find them. I got mine on Amazon, but anyway, good luck finding one elsewhere. Anyway, that you can just clamp on like that and put a sports cam there. That did the job for me. So there we have it, guys. Schumann Reverie. I wanted to do number 7 right away, but we're going to do that another time. And the reason why, one of the reasons why, at least let's just cover that, is in number 7, it starts out exactly as number 8. I'm sorry, I meant number 8. I wanted to do number 8. Starts out just like number 7. This is number 8. Getting used to this, guys. Getting used to it. This is number 8, and this is number 7 in this series here. So, number 8, as you can see, starts exactly the same way. S, C, F. And then left and right hands, just like we did here, but it's totally different. So we'll look at that one another time. Okay, everybody, so ends our video. I think we've talked about it all. The Masterclasses, the update of the equipment. The live stream will be up for patrons. So if you're on Patreon, you can check out the live stream. Pardon me. And that's it. So take care, everyone. Peace out. Adios, and see you soon. Let's just see if there's any questions here before I sign off. Sorry about that. Okay. That happens. Audio sounds great. Pardon me, everybody. I haven't figured out how to mute the mic easily when that happens. But I promise you, I'm going to get to your questions. Give me 1 second here. All right, I'm back here. So, okay, put that one back on. Okay. Audio's great. Awesome. Toad à la mode. Toad à la mode. Hi, Toad à la mode. Prinzo the cat. Thank you for your great explanations. The audio is very good. Awesome. Do you cross your fingers of the 2 hands in the beginning of this piece? Yeah, that's true. That's something I didn't mention. I do cross my fingers. I think that's fine. There's, you know, the question is it fine if you don't? We have a lot of this in the next one, in number 8. He's doing that all over the place. I would stick to the way he wrote it. I think that's the best way to do it. Sometimes there's a reason why they also write it that way. It just voices a little bit better. So generally, I'm often confused which finger of which hand plays a note, so I can hold down the longer notes, half notes, while playing the melody. I see. Well, this shouldn't be a problem because, you know, this is only an octave, so it shouldn't make a difference if you do this or not. Okay, Steve Mayer. Hi, Steve Mayer. And okay, that's it. All right then, guys. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. The videos will be up on YouTube, and the live stream is on Patreon for the patrons. So talk to you guys very soon. We're going to look at number 8. We're going to look at the Revolutionary Etude by Chopin, which we didn't get to do today. So stay tuned. And when you come to my masterclass, I'm going to make you play. I'm just kidding. You won't have to play. Only a few brave people will play. But check out the link I put in the description, and just send me your email so I can send you the link for the Zoom get-together. I'll call it a Zoom get-together. That's what we'll be doing. That's it. Peace out. Adios. Take care, everybody. Over and out.